Hey guys, so okay, welcome back to the lid. We're getting close to the end now. We're in Luke's chapter. The ghost has Hannah hostage. We've got to save her. We've got to do anything we can to keep everyone alive here. I feel like all the decisions are going to matter, so let's focus and let's carry on.
Help me. Please. Please make it stop.
I think death would be preferable if my sense of self-preservation was shot to high hell. It would deprive me of choice and of responsibility in the matter. And I don't want to think about how fast my heart beats, so that I hardly hear anything other than my own heartbeat and her pleading.
Please. They're in my head. Screaming. It hurts so much.
Come on, Luke. What do I do? What can one do against someone holding your life in their hands? With a woman that looks more monster than man. When her expression turns into one of amusement and her horrific laughter fills the air, I'm torn apart. This is my fault, isn't it? Hannah's in danger because of me. Everybody I love always ends up hurt or worse. And even when I chose to let her go, she is no exception. Hannah's unbroken begging makes it all the much more painful. Because I still love Hannah. I really do. But will I really endanger myself for a woman who might not love me back anymore? Still something in me dies a little when that woman laughs, as if this is all some sick joke. Her smile taunts me, filling my head with laughter and rage until I can barely think over the cacophony in my head. And the way the woman looks at me, it's as if she's watching, waiting for my next move.
Please. Someone. Anyone. Help me.
Come on, guys, figure it out. This is crazy. And I don't know what I should do. Well, I know for a fact that one shouldn't aggravate a hostage taker. There's no winning an argument with someone who holds a life easily taken. But I need to do something, right? My decision is taken from me, however. Mint is all impetus and no thought, no holding back as she steps up. Oh no. Her eyes blaze afire in anger and defiance. Her jaw and her stance is set, fists curled at her sides, as if she can just sock the witch in the face and have it bear no consequence. She looks like a warrior saint, and I'd name one of them if I know any. She thankfully doesn't rush headlong like an idiot, but she falters, the fire in her eyes down to nothing but a small spark when the woman laughs in her face. There's fear on her face, and that does nothing to settle my worries, and she has the gall to turn her eye on me instead.
What are you doing just standing there when she has Hannah? Oh, what the bloody hell do you expect me to do? Get your fucking arse in gear and do anything? Yes, that's very helpful, McCullough. Telling me to get my arse in gear isn't going to help solve shit here. This isn't some bloody action film where me charging in is going to save anyone. One stupid move from any of us, and Hannah might be dead because of it. I know she looks like a scary fucker and all, but she's your wife, you gobshite. There must be something.
The woman doesn't look armed, but that doesn't mean she's not dangerous. If anything, the fact that she's this confident, this unperturbed, while being bare-handed is a testament to itself. Either she's well prepared, or she's just that crazy. And it's one thing to work with hostage takers, and another thing entirely to work with the criminally insane. A hush settles over the room as she speaks up. Her voice is but a whisper, and deathly slow, and I'm hard-pressed to hear it over the pounding of my heart in my ears. She speaks, the woman from the gardens, and the servant girl from the ballroom, from the hallucination, vision, memories, whatever they were.
Will you not speak up for her? Will you not try to save your beloved wife?
I cannot stop the heat from flooding my cheeks, shame turning me red and making me grit my teeth in anger. And that same anger sets a fire in me, burns through the fear. It spurs me on to call her out because of pride.
Why? Will my words hold any sway? Who's to say you won't snap her neck the moment I take one step? Do you take me for an idiot?
I take you for a coward. Nothing but a spineless coward.
It seems she's found what she's looking for, and that she has no further use for Hannah. Oh no. Journal entry, what's going on? Oh god. I'm so excited and so nervous. Oh, it's all been leading up to this. This 2.5 weeks worth of journal entries. Unwilling to risk Hannah's safety, Luke kept quiet to her disappointment. Although the woman eventually released his wife at Marianne's demands, there was anger and contempt in her face. All of a sudden, it was then when the whole house shifted before his eyes. A hand on Hannah's back sends her falling down the stairs. She's nothing but a rag doll, thrown away because she's lost interest with her, like a child with an old toy. I'm frozen in place, but Mint, she catches her, and that sends the two of them sprawling at the foot of the stairs. Clearly it was a painful landing, further aggravated by the fact that the Irish woman is still weak from her days trapped in the cellar. How would he know that? Yet I just watch as she puts Hannah's well-being first. She pulls the both of them up to their feet and dusts their clothes off. There's a small strained smile on her face and a tinge of red, one that I can't entirely attribute to adrenaline, on her face all the while.
You all right there, Hannah? Were you hurt?
The shine in her eyes almost makes me feel jealous, though I don't know who wouldn't be. Mint is a handsome lady, and with the way she looks at Hannah, well, anyone would be lucky if Hannah ever so much as looks their way.
Oh no, I'm fine, Marianne. Are you alright? I wasn't too heavy, was I?
If Hannah doesn't wish to be with me anymore, perhaps she'll easily find happiness with another. And McCullough seems like she has the stuff to make her a good significant other.
Well, a little bit. Not that I'm saying you're fat or anything.
Hannah laughs, out of breath, and she smiles at me, though that disappears as quick as it had appeared. We aren't quite out of the woods yet, and she hasn't forgotten what I did, or rather, what I failed to do. It's only fair, I suppose. I'm nothing but a coward in her eyes, a sorry excuse for a man who can't even muster up the courage to protect her. And we nearly forget for a moment.
You do not deserve what you have.
Just hearing her voice triggers something in Hannah, and she starts to tear up. Her face contorts into one of pain and fear. Mint is quick to place her hands on Hannah's face so that she looks at her and her alone.
This is right. Look at me and take deep breaths. She doesn't have you anymore, alright?
I don't know what exactly in the bloody hell is going on, yet I can't find it in me to care, whoever these people are and whatever they're here for. This is not acceptable. For all I know, this is all some dumb charade to get to me. All the times I've seen the woman before, it could have all been an act to get to me, to get under my skin. And to think they dare hurt Hannah, for all that the fear that I felt, seeing her touch Hannah, I can only think of her as an actress in grotesque makeup. My hand still shakes, the fear of not having quite gone, but anger fills me as I look at that woman, a sneer on my face.
How dare you! I don't care who you are, but how dare you touch Hannah! I want you out of my house, out before I call the police and have you put away for the rest of your miserable life!
He is so livid.
And that goes for all of you!
I hold my ground, firm and strong with my declaration. But the nerve of her, she just laughs in my face. A terrible, dreadful laugh that makes me feel as if there are ants crawling on my skin and maggots squirming into my ears.
You are telling me to get out of your house? You threatened to lock me up.
She laughs, and she laughs.
What's so funny? What are you laughing at? None of this is funny!
But she persists, and it almost feels like her voice is in my head.
Oh, no different. No different. You're all the same. You can all suffer together.
And that is when everything turns to complete and utter shite. It's a slow thing, a whisper more than a bang, as the darkness creeps into every corner of the room. The walls shudder and groan. Blood runs from the ceiling, crawls down the walls and stains the floor. It feels as if life itself is being sucked from the house slowly but surely. The beauty of the place is gone, with only the dead, decaying remains of a mansion left in its wake. I don't have to wonder if it is just the foyer that's become this nightmarish place. I can already hear it. Gone are the growling of thunder and the lashings of rain and wind against the foyer's high windows. All of it has been replaced by a more grating sound. A cacophony of voices from nowhere and everywhere, echoing throughout the now horrid walls. Voices that neither belongs to us nor the people who live here.
What's going on?
All throughout the house, shouts of alarm and surprise ring out, a mirror to the horror creeping up at each of us. Who wouldn't be shocked? This is insane! At the sight of it, Lily trembles, hugging herself closer, while Steel and Feathers stand protectively in front of her. Brave of them, I have to admit, to put themselves in front line like that. Though it doesn't necessarily mean they don't feel the same fear as the rest of us. Something I don't blame them for. There seems to be no end in sight to this insanity. If anything, this only feels like it's the beginning of the end.
Help me! Oh my god! Please, somebody! Anybody! Who are you? Stay away! No. Stay away! Stay away!
I'm not afraid of you, you spook!
Oh god, these are all the voices of the dead people. That was Rebecca.
This is one Scotswoman. You aren't getting into an early grave without a fight!
Their screams fill the mansion. She laughs all the while, a harsh, agonizing sound that goes on for what feels like forever. Until there's nothing but silence, her horrid smile and pale hands reaching out to me, calling, beckoning, pleading. I'm terrified. I really am like I should be, but I've never been one to stay truly afraid. I've long learned that fear will not get me anywhere. Cowering in a corner doesn't keep me safe, and it will not keep me alive, not like rage does. I've learned to use this burning hate inside of me to survive. There's no difference now.
Stay away from me!
Why? Why do you wish to leave? This is where you belong, my lord. Remember the blood we share? This is your home. Don't you remember? You promised to return, to stay, together with me. with us. With people no different from you.
What is she talking about, Luke? What does she mean?
Don't listen to her, she lies. I promised no such thing to anyone. Hannah, you're the one who bought this house. How should I know what she's babbling about? I never even wanted to be here in the first place.
A terrible case of mistaken identity. That must be it. I'm quite sure of it. I don't know this woman, this monster. Why would I say that to someone like her? In my entire lifetime, I've only made and kept sincere promises to a mere two people. Hannah Evans and Eleanor Chandler. No one else. The rest of those who claim I've promised anything to them can go fuck themselves. Bloody hell, I may enjoy the company of women, but I'm not an idiot to start spouting such nonsense to anyone. A line must be drawn, especially if I'm to keep myself alive. Yet she still goes on, insists, making me appear a liar in front of these people.
Of course you still deny it. You haven't changed, I see. Still a deceiver.
She's lying!
You see, my love, nothing has changed. Still no difference, you and I. Just like the rest of us. Just like every single soul in this putrid wreck. We've waited for so long. You can hear them, yes? Their pleas, their calls, their invitation. Come, my lord. The house seeks its master.
She, the monster, reaches out again, her hands a gory, abhorrent sight, along with that smile spread across her face. My body's already moving on instinct, stumbling back one step at a time in a desperate bid to be away from her, anything to put distance between me and this vile creature. No matter what she says, I'm nothing like her. I need to get out of this house, out of this country preferably. There's nothing for me here, not anymore, nothing to keep tied to this place. With Hannah planning to leave me, struck and likely taken by this woman, nothing's left to bind me to this wretched city. I can leave, I can...
Careful, Luke!
My foot steps on something, sending me sliding on my back and flat on the floor. Beside me, a paper. Familiar one flutters down. It's this thing again, from the open house, though it feels less like a gimmick and more like a threat, what with recent events. It must have fallen from one of the peasants in the commotion earlier. For a moment they appear conflicted to see it in my hands, but wisely keeps their opinions to themselves, leaving the damn thing to simply bear its grisly message for everyone in the room to see. Help me. Help me. Help me. Is this it? What they've been telling us? Why everything in my life has gone to shite? Because of some stupid old letter? An invitation indeed. One I'm not willing to accept. Not any time. From the top of the stairs the creature moves again, drawing my attention back to her. Her gait remains slow and awkward as she walks forward, that smile never leaving her. But I won't give her the chance. I am not dying here. I certainly am not giving myself to a hideous creature like her either. Adrenaline kicks in, and despite panicked gasps and worried glances from the other people here, I pay them no mind as I reach for the main door, and without warning it slams open, revealing not the mansion grounds like I'm expecting. Before my mind can even comprehend what's happening, black tendrils have already coiled tightly around my limbs, dragging every person in the foyer into the room. None of us even get to scream when darkness completely envelops us upon the doors closing.
Understand where your place is now, my love. You belong here. Is it so difficult to grasp? We've been waiting.
There's a moment of panic when the feeling of the tendrils around my limbs finally dissipates. As soon as my eyes adjust to the darkness of the room and I'm on my feet, I'm reaching for my knife and holding it out, watching, waiting for every movement, using it as a way to put distance between me and those peasants. Who knows what they'll do now? We're all desperate to get out of this house. There's only 6 of us in this room, 3 of them, friends at that. I can't trust these people not to turn on me. Bloody hell, even Hannah's giving me the same looks as them now. Though Mint has already gone loon, crouched in a corner and muttering to herself, you can't really say anyone's safe from her. If anything, she's the one I should watch out for. I cannot trust anyone. Not anymore. Not after this. Despite the pleading looks Lily shoots my way when they all huddle in the corner behind steel and feathers. But I have to remind myself that even people like her are capable of doing the unpleasant. She's only human after all. It's never an excuse. Why, even Hannah has her cunning, manipulative moments, though she does it much subtler than I. Why else would Lily show this letter to us that day, if not to save herself? I guess that backfired on her now that she and her own friends are also stuck here. Still, I have every right to be livid. Everything that I've built has fallen apart. All because these people came into our lives.
You! All of you! This is all your fault! If I've died to this bloody case, I'm taking you all down with me!
Luke, please put that knife away. This isn't going to solve anything.
Hey now, Mr. Wright. I know the situation ain't good, but we have to calm down. We're all in the same boat here.
You shut your mouth! If it weren't for you, or this letter, for all of you, none of this would have happened!
Is your life all that matters to you? What about these people here? Don't they have the same problem? What about me, Luke? Do you even care?
Are you taking their side? You're also stuck in this nightmare, Hannah! That creature is out to get us, and you're still defending these people!
I'm not defending anyone, Luke. I'm just trying to be reasonable when you're clearly not.
Oh, of course you're not. You're just the one who bought this bloody mansion to begin with. If I didn't know any better, you did this on purpose!
Luke, calm down, please.
Why, no. Why would I ever do that? This was only meant to be an anniversary gift. For you. For us. For the family we're going to have.
Oh, is she gonna reveal now?
Right, anniversary gift.
God.
Oh, here's your gift, darling. Oh, by the way, there's a curse included in that package. I hope that's all right. Are you really that eager to get rid of me, Hannah? Because if that's what you've been meaning to do all this time, you might as well just put a knife in my back while I'm...
Suddenly, Mint steps up and slaps the knife away from my hand. Said knife slides uselessly under the table out of my reach. Before my mind registers what's happening, a sharp blow explodes on the side of my head, sending me reeling backwards. Oof. She merely stands before me afterwards, without even batting an eye, glaring at me as if she might just rip my head off at this instant. I've almost forgotten she's here. Her ramblings have faded away in the shouting. And did she forget whose house she's standing in right now, punching me like that? The nerve of her. And Hannah just stands there. Last I checked, she's still married to me. That's not the proper way to talk to your wife, Mr. Wright.
Marianne, you didn't have to. Please, I'll talk to my husband.
Oh, why don't you just let her say what she wants? Do go on.
Oh man, tensions are boiling.
Since that's what these peasants seem to do these days. Barge into your home, barge in on other people's business. No sense of decorum at all.
You keep that rude mouth running, Whiskey, and see if any of us here will help you out of this place.
Please stop! All of you stop this!
To hear Lily speak out loud, I can't say I'm not surprised. She's always given me the impression of someone so meek from the moment I met her, either from her inexperience or her station in life. She's never struck me as someone fitting to be a real estate agent. Until now. Quietly, she puts herself between me and Mint, cutting whatever scathing words we've yet to hurl at each other. The way she glares at me, it reminds me a little of the way my own mum would look at me. Particularly when I've done something wrong, and it's not a stare she's unused to showing. She's done this before, probably to a younger sibling. Huh. If she only sees us now as a pair of squabbling kids and not two mature adults, well, that's only to be expected. No doubt that's how she sees us. For a long moment there's only silence in the room. Steel, the big oaf, doesn't even dare break it, neither does Feathers. With both merely watching us. Bunch of wimps, these men. Not that it matters when Lily starts speaking again, after some of the anger and tension has lifted from the room.
Stop this, please! With or without that damn piece of paper, we...
A deep breath. An exhale. And then she closes her eyes, a crease forming between her eyebrows while she grips her hand tightly in front of her.
We still would have ended up in this mess.
The atmosphere that descends into the room right after that. Admission is anything but pleasant. Can I call it that? An admission? It seems like it from the way her eyes nervously flick between her friends and I. She appears to know more than she lets on, and how she makes herself appear small after dropping that bomb on us doesn't sit quite well with me. And patience is something I don't have the luxury of having right now and bestowing upon other people. What else does this girl know? What else is she not telling us? Because from the looks of this, even her friends has no idea what she's talking about. Unwilling to wait, I grab her arm before she retreats without explanation, waving the letter still in my hand in front of her.
Ow! Sir, you're hurting me!
Hey, hands off her, right?
Fuck off, Feathers. I have questions for your friend, and she better have the answers.
Then stop taking it out on every single person.
Your friend is hiding something! She struggles for a moment, but my hold eventually forces her to look up at me. Fear and uncertainty spreads across her features, especially when her eyes land on the damned paper. As much as I want to be considerate right now, I want answers!
What do you mean, Lily?
I'm not sure about it.
Don't give me that, you know something!
Ow! Please, sir. I know the paper's useless, okay?
At the mention of the letter, without warning, Mint snatches the paper out of my hand. It's a miracle it didn't rip right there and there. But the way she glares at it, I think she may want to do exactly that.
We should have gotten rid of this thing. We should have burned it at the first opportunity we got.
No, even if we rip it to shreds, it won't do anything. I think...
You don't know what I've seen, Santos. There were children. Victims. All because they had no idea what this thing will do to them. Oh God, those poor souls. They were screaming and begging before she...
Then what about those people they mentioned in the news lately? All those who died? My coworkers? The open house clients? None of them had seen it. Even Rose. And yet they're all dead. I should know. That letter has been with me since I picked it up.
There's gotta be more than one though, right?
And I swear I didn't make copies of this thing. Even if I wanted to save myself, I wouldn't do that to my friends. Or anyone.
Is that what the trip to BRC was for?
Yes, I'm sorry. I couldn't tell you guys until I was certain. None of you believed me the first time. I had to find proof.
And yet we're all here! Are you taking me for a fool, Lily?
I have to go with whiskey on this. Who knows how many has already seen this before you found it? This cursed thing has to go!
We would have ended up here either way.
Why?
Maybe? I really don't know. Sir, please. All I know is that paper isn't the reason why all of this is happening. There's something else that...
This place.
Steele has been quiet this entire time, but the sound of him talking, however whispered it is, still manages to catch us all off guard. We all pause, turning to him with likely the same questions in our eyes.
What?
Oh, I just thought... I mean, it's a straight thought, don't take my word for it.
No! It might be something! What about this place, Zach?
There's still a moment where he hesitates, but Lily's urging eventually spurs him into speaking.
I was just thinking... Maybe Ash is right. For why you went here. This is where Bella found that thing, right? And then... this.
It was just a hunch, Zach. We were not getting anywhere. But just because we went here doesn't mean we will find all the answers we need here. Hell, now we're stuck here.
Regardless, Steele pauses, allows Lily to remember. Soon enough, whatever it is dawns on her, and her face lights up with something like... hope? Of all things, in this nightmare, hope? Her head snaps up and she reaches for Steele's arm to give it a squeeze. A reassurance? Or a confirmation? The meaning is lost even to Feathers, who glances at them, baffled.
Isabella, what are you...
Ash, it's this place. Think about it.
What? You mean we burn this place down?
I still think we should get rid of this letter before we start thinking of destroying a place with some historical value!
What? No! We are not burning a multi-million-pound mansion, you peasants! I just spent a fortune on this!
Seriously, Luke, are you really more worried about that?
Buttercup, Mansion, millions! It's gonna take years getting all that money back!
Well, you certainly won't be getting any of that money if you're dead. Really, Luke? Is that more important than your life?
Bloody fucking hell! Not only do I have trespassers on my property, but they're also arsonists!
God, Luke, come on, be reasonable here. How dare they suggest something like that? Bloody peasants. My head's already aching just listening to them. To think this is all the solution they can come up with? I should have just stabbed all of them and made a run for it. It doesn't help that with each second we spend talking here, the crazier this whole place gets. The voices have become louder, and somehow sounding more vicious. If the things in this room start floating, mark my words, I will fucking flip out. Journal. Oh my god, we have to endure the voices while we look for the journal entry. Makes sense. Burn the place down. Get rid of it. Hopefully he has insurance, right? Furious, paranoid, and trapped in the mansion with people he barely knew, Luke Wright threatened to take them down with him. Luckily, before the hysterical man could harm anyone. And they may not be thinking of it right now, but eventually, they'll turn on me. Such is the nature of humans. Better find a way out of this place as soon as possible if I want to stay alive. Fuck! I still have so much to do. None of our choices seem sound, but who knows? We don't understand a shit about this place. Might as well try everything, yeah? Whatever works. If I also have to be the one to make that bloody decision, so be it. Less room for errors, with the only sane one doing the thinking. On the off chance I'm wrong, well, they suggested it. I decide to... Come on, Luke. We've got to burn the mansion down. Burning the letter's not going to do anything, surely not. But burning the mansion, what if we get trapped in it, you know? I just think back to Stephen King's 1408. It's a movie. The only way to beat the room, well in this case it's the mansion, was to burn the whole thing down. Come on, well, surely we've got insurance, right? I'm just scared we'll find ourselves trapped. That's the only thing I'm worried about. But burning the letter, surely that's not going to do anything. Come on, we have to burn the mansion down. I think this is what we need to do. Come on, Luke. Do this for Hannah. Do this for yourself. I'm going to regret this. I will. But with these cries growing louder, this has become the easiest decision I've ever made. I'm getting tired of hearing her sobbing, really. It's just irritating. Isn't she getting tired of it? Besides, someone has to act fast, think fast. What else is the root cause of our problems with this place where the letter was found? He's got the lighter as well, his mother's lighter. No need to make things more complicated. It started here, why won't it end here? If what Lily has said is true, then there's all the more reason to destroy it. Put an end to this madness before someone thinks of putting this blasted place up in the market. When I get out of this place, I swear I'm suing a bunch of people. Run that estate company to the ground if need be. We spent millions, damn it! Millions! With a sigh and perhaps a heavy heart, I open one of the drawers on my study table, taking a bottle of liquor out for myself and passing it on to every occupant in the room. They accept it, but not without a look of protest or a confused glance my way. It does shut them all up, so maybe I've done something good.
Luke, this isn't the time!
Even more when I pop the cork off the bottle and pour its contents on the floor.
Well, what are you simpletons waiting for?
We waste no time dousing the whole room, the smell of alcohol filling the air. If I didn't know any better, I'd say they're more than eager to set this whole place on fire. And the blaze catches easily in this room when I settle a light, using the blasted paper as kindling. With the whole place drenched with wine and all manner of things alcoholic I've been hiding from Hana, the small fire soon turns into an inferno. In a matter of seconds, we're out the door. It doesn't exactly lead where I'm hoping it will, although ending up in the kitchen does give us more reason to play like a bunch of pyromaniacs, fishing the liquor stocks from the cupboards. We also do the same thing we've done to the study. Door after door, in every room we pass, pouring bottle after bottle of expensive, aged liquor and setting everything on fire, only leaving once the blaze has started in earnest. When we run out of liquor, we simply drop the bottle and take one off from many nooks I've stashed one. And there's no lack of it in here. The hard stuff, the shorts, the watered-down kind. I tell you, the absinthe would be really good here. Gifts from a distant relative, friends, so-called friends, you name it. I've made sure there's always one within reach.
How many of these things do you keep in this house?
I always have a few bottles in the bedroom, you know, the parlor and the dining room.
You have problems, man.
Well, isn't this the time to discuss them?
Turns out it'll be useful now. Not to drown out my sorrows, but for this. Wonder of wonders. Though I suppose I can now say it has also saved my life. But there's no time for some introspection now, because with each room we pass and burn, the place also becomes easier to navigate. As if it's slowly righting itself, returning to what it's supposed to be. Soon, we finally find ourselves standing before the main door. The strong odor of burning wood, cloth and varnish alike wafts from under the doors of the rooms we've previously torched, slowly filling the hall with a thick black smoke. The blaze has also started in earnest in every part of the house. I can already feel the heat seeping from the rooms I've set aflame. In a matter of minutes, flames will engulf the whole house. Fittingly, that is when she appears again before us, watching us from the top of the stairs, while her world goes up in flames around her. However, what catches my eyes is that expression on her face. Not the vile smile I've already grown accustomed to, or the one where her eyes gleam with complete hatred. This one. Forlorn is the only word I can think to describe it.
No, please. Help me. Help me, please.
Can the dead still feel? Can she hear us? Or is that merely another one of her tricks to trap us in this nightmare? Well, she had plenty of time to ask for help normally, okay? It's her problem now. Like this, however, she seems almost like the woman she used to be. And I don't waste any time pondering over it, not with the exit just a few steps away. The door is finally open, and through it I can glimpse the world outside. Safety. However, I do turn, if only to see the last of her. A farewell more than anything. For all her attempts to lure me, draw me in, her wishes to be with me, she doesn't stop me. When I finally run from this horrid place, quietly she disappears. Watching a multi-million-pound house burn before me, for some reason nothing about this bothers me. Maybe it's that one last look on her face that has changed it. Maybe it's what I've seen and heard inside. There's only a calm, a stillness. The same hush that comes after a terrible storm has swept the countryside. And with it is the sight of the sun rising above the horizon. Ever so slowly, the sky begins to lighten before my eyes. Darkness giving way to the warm morning hues, soft rays spilling over the vast expanse of Luxbourne's countryside. Nearby, the trees sway and rustle with the breeze, a passing draught that carries even into this room from outside, cold enough to make me shiver. The remains of a storm that has passed. In the distance, I can hear the soft chirping of birds, while the rest of the world stirs, wakes. Dawn, at last. We are free.